we were talking about the flip camera, which is what you're holding in your hand, and how that came about. And the way it came about here is that my wife has a blog. She's a real estate agent, and she has a blog that she uses for her real estate business. And this flip camera sort of came to our attention, and we wanted something so that we could do videos for the real estate blog. So I bought her this camera for Christmas, this past Christmas. And we've used it several times for the real estate blog, but in using it for the real estate blog, it made me think how many applications there would be for the college and for the blogs that we maintain here. And we maintain about 10 or 12 blogs here, and it's growing all the time. So we started just experimenting with the flip camera, and we've done a number of different recordings with it, and we've put them on various blogs, the sports blog, the news blog, and that's pretty much the story of that. We found it to be really effective. There's a couple of limitations to it because it's so small. You know, as you can see, it's about the size of a pack of cigarettes maybe, or something like that. The biggest drawback, I think, is that the microphone is in the camera itself, the body of the camera, and you can't put a mic on the subject, and so if you ask questions, your voice booms into the camera quite loudly, but my voice, since I'm sitting maybe 4 feet away from you, you know, my voice is going to be a little bit less distinct. So that's a small problem, but not really anything that keeps us from using it effectively, you know. So would you like me to answer some of the questions?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You wanted me to talk a little bit about what a blog is.
Yes.
Just kind of a definition of a blog. Well, a blog is really nothing more than a website, except that it's ordered. The content of a blog is ordered somewhat differently than a regular website. In that, whenever you put a new posting on a blog, the new posting goes to the top, and it pushes everything else down. So if I do a post today, it goes to the top. Tomorrow, if I do another post, it goes to the top again and pushes yesterday's posting further down. So the further down you go, the older the post is. And the name blog, actually, it came from weblog, and it was thought of, I think, initially as a sort of log of information, you know, that would be added to all the time. So it was called a weblog, and they just shortened it to a single syllable and made it just blog. But that's where the name came from.
I see. So what are some of the public benefits that you would say people have in using blog as a social medium?
Well, I think that it's a great place to sort of put. Let me put it to you this way: all of the social media that we do at the college, which includes Facebook and includes Twitter and includes a bunch of others, I've come to look at the blog as being the central repository for information that feeds all of those other social media sites. The blog is where you put everything, and then you take that stuff on the blog and distribute it around to the other social media sites. And it's the sort of central repository for data, is the way I look at it. Both written and photographically and video, you know, using the camera that we're using today.
Right. And many articles refer to the RSS and how that's incorporated with blogs. Could you go into a little bit about that?
Well, the RSS simply is a means of feeding the data from the blog elsewhere. And so, for example, let's say you want to follow our news blog. You can do that with an RSS feed, which means whenever I post something new on the news blog, the RSS feed delivers it to your mailbox if you're following it. So if you sign up for the RSS feed from our blog, then you just get notification every time we put something new. So you don't have to go into the blog to follow it. You can just open your email and check, and boom, there it'll be.
Right. And if someone really wants to, whether for business purposes or educational purposes, wants to start up their own blog page, what is like the steps to go about doing that?
Well, they're pretty simple because there are several different companies or websites or sites that offer blogging services. One of them is WordPress, and that's the one that we use at the college. Another one is Blogger, and Blogger is a Google product. And there's several others, but they are basically template sites where you can go into, like WordPress, sign up for it, name a blog, and if that name is available, they assign it to you, and you just go through a series of steps, and then they say, okay, your blog is established, and here's your password, and you can come in to WordPress and go to a special page that allows you to start adding content to the blog. It's really as simple as that.
Right. Okay, well, this concludes the interview about blogs, and thank you for your time, Mr.
You're
Fredericks.
welcome. Thanks so much for coming over.